Hey there, history hounds, and welcome to Amazing Top 10s. Today, buckle up because we're taking a wild ride through history's weirdest, wackiest moments, the kind that make you go, wait, they put that in the textbooks? Get ready to dive into some of the strangest, most unbelievable moments in history. From feathery foes to rivers of sticky goo. Spoiler alert, it's Molasses. We've got a lineup that'll have you questioning everything you thought you knew about the past. Kicking off our list at number 10, we've got a war of epic proportions, and I'm not talking about some clash of titans. Nope, this is humans versus, wait for it, emus. You heard that right, giant, flightless birds. And let me tell you, the emus brought the heat. It all went down in 1932 in Western Australia. Picture this, farmers are struggling, crops are failing, and who gets blamed? Thousands of hungry emus looking for a snack. So what's a nation to do? Deploy the army, of course. Armed with machine guns, they went to war with the birds. But here's the thing about emus. They're tough, they're fast, and they're surprisingly good at dodging bullets. The result? A humiliating defeat for the Aussie army. The emus, unscathed and probably a little smug, continued their reign of terror. The lesson here: never underestimate a bird that looks like it could win a staring contest with a statue. Number 9 on our hit parade of historical weirdness takes us to 1518 in Strasbourg, France, where the streets became a 24/7 dance floor. But this wasn't some joyous celebration. People weren't grooving to the latest loot hit. They were seized by an uncontrollable urge to dance. For days, sometimes weeks, they'd move without rest, their bodies driven by some unknown force. Imagine a rave gone wrong, but instead of glow sticks and techno music, it's medieval garb and exhaustion. Some danced until they collapsed from exhaustion. Some even died from heart attacks or strokes. Theories abound about what caused this strange phenomenon, from ergot poisoning, a fungus that can cause hallucinations, to mass psychogenic illness, basically mass hysteria. Whatever the cause, the dancing plague of 1518 remains a bizarre and unsettling footnote in history. Hold on to your hats, folks, because number 8 is going to be a sticky one. We're going to Boston in 1919 to witness a disaster nobody saw coming, a tsunami of molasses. Now, I know what you're thinking. Molasses? That slow-moving breakfast condiment? How could that cause mass chaos? Well, imagine a 50-foot tank holding 2.3 million gallons of the stuff, because that's exactly what burst open in Boston's North End. The wave of molasses, traveling at a surprisingly brisk 35 miles per hour, ripped through the streets, knocking down buildings, twisting train tracks, and engulfing everything in its path. The aftermath was, to put it mildly, a mess. It took weeks to clean up the sticky goo, and the smell of molasses lingered in the air for months. Sadly, the flood also claimed 21 lives, making this one of the strangest and saddest events in Boston's history. Our Chapter 4. The Great Stink, London. Calling for a nose plug. Number 7 takes us to London, 1858, for a sensory experience you won't soon forget: the Great Stink. Imagine the worst smell you've ever encountered. Multiply it by 1,000, then let it simmer in the summer sun. That's the Great Stink in a nutshell. The culprit? The River Thames, which at the time was basically an open sewer. Years of dumping waste into the river had turned it into a toxic, smelly nightmare. The stench was so bad it drove people from their homes, made politicians physically ill, and even forced Parliament to suspend sessions because, well, nobody wants to debate policy while gagging on sewer fumes. The Great Stink, though utterly disgusting, did have a silver lining. It finally spurred the city to build a proper sewage system, proving that sometimes even the worst stink can lead to positive change. Chapter 5. The Tanganyika Laughter Epidemic. This is what contagious joy looks like. Buckle up for number 6, because this one's going to tickle your funny bone. In 1962, in what is now Tanzania, a wave of laughter swept through the countryside, infecting thousands. It all started in a small village with a fit of giggles among schoolgirls. But this was no ordinary case of the giggles. The laughter spread like wildfire, jumping from village to village, infecting people of all ages. Imagine a world where a smile is contagious, where laughter echoes through the streets, uncontrollable and relentless. For months, the laughter epidemic gripped the region, disrupting daily life, closing schools, and leaving people in stitches, literally. While the exact cause remains a mystery, Some experts believe it was a case of mass psychogenic illness, triggered by stress and anxiety. Whatever the reason, the Tanganyika laughter epidemic stands as a testament to the strange and powerful ways our bodies react to the world around us. Chapter 6, The Great Tea Race, because nobody likes a cold cuppa. Hold on to your teacups, folks, because number 5 is a wild ride across the high seas. It's the Great Tea Race of 1866, a no-holds-barred competition to bring the freshest tea from China to England. Back then, tea was all the rage in England, and getting your hands on the first harvest of the year was a big deal. So every spring, the fastest clipper ships would set sail from China, racing across the ocean to be the first to reach London with their precious cargo. These weren't your grandma's leisurely cruises, mind you. We're talking daring maneuvers, close calls with storms, and crews pushing themselves and their ships to the limit, all for a sip of the freshest brew. The prize, bragging rights, a hefty bonus for the winning captain, and of course the satisfaction of knowing you brought tea-loving Brits their caffeine fix. Chapter 7, The War of the Bucket. This is how you fight over Tupperware. Number 4 proves that even the silliest things can spark a conflict. This is the War of the Bucket, a 14th century showdown between the Italian cities of Bologna and Modena. What sparked this epic clash of civilizations? You guessed it, a bucket. Not just any bucket, mind you, but a humble wooden bucket that was stolen from a well in Bologna by Modenese soldiers. Now, you might think a stolen bucket wouldn't be worth going to war over, but pride, my friends, is a powerful motivator. The bucket became a symbol of honor, and both cities refused to back down. The resulting war lasted 12 years, involved thousands of soldiers, and culminated in a battle where Bologna, despite having a larger army, got thoroughly trounced. The bucket, you ask? It remains in Modena to this day, a testament to the absurdity of war and the enduring power of a good bucket. Coming in at number 3, we've got a musical instrument that's more bizarre than a bagpipe solo in an elevator. Behold, the cat piano. This 16th century invention, thankfully never actually built, was exactly as cruel as it sounds. Picture this. A keyboard, but instead of hammers striking strings, you have cats. Yes, live cats, each one assigned a note, held in cages with their tails exposed. Press a key, a mechanism pinches a cat's tail, the cat yowls, and voila, you've got music. Thankfully, this instrument never made it past the drawing board. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes human ingenuity takes a dark, dark turn. And a good reminder to stick to instruments that don't involve animal cruelty, like, the triangle. Hold on to your tinfoil hats, folks, because number 2 is out of this world, literally. It's the Great Moon Hoax of 1835. A testament to the power of a good story and the gullibility of, well, everyone. It all started with a series of articles in the New York Sun claiming that astronomer Sir John Herschel had discovered life on the moon. And not just any life, mind you, but a civilization of bat people. These weren't your average run-of-the-mill bats either. These guys had wings, built temples, and apparently enjoyed a bit of theatre. The articles were a sensation, spreading like wildfire across the globe. People ate it up, newspapers reprinted it, and even some scientists bought into the hype. It took weeks for the truth to come out. The whole thing was a hoax, a clever and wildly successful attempt to boost newspaper sales. The lesson here? Always check your sources, especially when it comes to bat people on the moon. And finally, our number 1 most bizarre historical event, 1816, the year summer took a vacation. Imagine this, it's June, and instead of sunshine and picnics, you get snowstorms and frost. That's what happened in 1816, thanks to a massive volcanic eruption in Indonesia the previous year. The eruption, the largest in recorded history, spewed so much ash and gas into the atmosphere that it messed with global weather patterns, causing widespread crop failures, famine, and even social unrest. In Europe and North America, 1816 became known as the year without a summer, a chilling reminder that even in the 19th century, nature could throw a curveball that would make a polar bear shiver. From emu armies to rivers of molasses, we've journeyed through some of history's weirdest, wildest moments. Thanks for watching. Which of these bizarre events did you find the most unbelievable? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fascinating historical content. And if you know of any other strange historical events, share them with us in the comments.